Log into gyroscopeme.com, the hottest online radio station in the world. GS Radio all day, all night, worldwide. Powered by Gyroscope Media Group, LLC. Connect.
GS Radio, the best internet radio station worldwide. Providing the best in music and talk shows. Go to www.gsradionj.com and check out the best internet station in the world. You're listening to GS Radio Internet Radio Station powered by GMG LLC.
Beginning there was Jack, and Jack had a groove. And after a while, a deep sleep fell upon him, and he went looking for a new groove. He began looking for a new nation, and it had to be a soulful nation. And he found it, and it was Soulful House Nation. And he saw a building. It was a tall building. It had 10 stories, and he entered the building and got on the elevator and pushed the 10th floor. But it stopped on the 8th floor. And that's where he found his new groove. And he began to jack and jack and jack and jack. And he knew that this was it. It was Soulful House Nation on the 8th floor. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. I am DJ Dan Soulful House Nation. I'm coming to you live from the 8th floor. I am the unusual suspect. This is Soulful House Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, we got another good one today. Good one today. By the way, just want to let you know that we can be reached and seen on multiple platforms. I'm going to do this off the top of my head. We're going to be on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Audible, we're on Vimeo, and some other places. All right. So check this out. Also, too, always like to give this big shout out to Chuck Roberts for our our vocal drop in the beginning, and then also to King T Finesse, who did our theme song along with Ariel Shante. So thank you very much for that. So listen, here's a quick overview. We're gonna go back and check out last week's interview with Viola Sykes. That was really good. You should go back and check that out. And you can find it here, certainly on Facebook, but also too, you can find it on YouTube. We're going to be on. We're going to be on there too. You can go back and see it there. Then also too, we're going to play the hottest song according to Track Source in the Soulful House category. Then we'll give you just a brief upview of some stuff that's coming. We're going to play a classic. And then we're going to get into our interview. Now, today's interview was pre-recorded, but note that you can still give comments and leave comments on it. So, Chuck, play the number one song according to Track Source for a couple weeks now. It's Nathan Haynes, Marlena Shaw, and Falk, and it's called Squire for Hire. So, as usual, we're going to play a little snippet of it because, people it's this nasty, nasty little habit of shutting us down and muting us out. Chuck, ready for you. Fade it out. Yeah, we'll fade it out because Facebook is this nasty, nasty little habit here, shutting us down and muting us out. Charlie, how you doing? Good to see you. Hope all is well. So we're going to do here, just take a couple minutes. Not going to take long today. We have a nice interview with DJ Storm coming up. And just to let you know that we're going to have a new track that I want you to watch out for is called The Flow by King T Finesse. Now, let me tell you, King T Finesse is the one, along with Ariel Shante, who put our theme song together. So check out his new track called The Flow. Plus, on Friday, he's got 3 more tracks he did with DJ Skates. And we're going to have some more tracks for you. So we're going to have 4 tracks for you this week out of the King T Finesse camp. So that's exciting. On the 14th, we have Cool Lou has his birthday. Now, many of you know Cool Lou from back in the day when he used to make those mixtapes. Yeah. Well, he's going to have a birthday party on Valentine's Day, and that's going to be at Bravo's on Central Ave in EO, East Orange, for those who just got here. So we're going to do here, just want to share a couple other things. We're going to be doing some new things in our show beginning very, very shortly, and you're going to see what they are. But also, too, I want to let you know our special guest next week is DJ Matt Knight. Now, DJ Matt Knight, some of you may not know who he is, but you will. I'm going to say he's under the wing of DJ Beloved. So if DJ Beloved is working with him, he's got to be one of these cats here. So let's do this, Chuck. Let's start up the interview. I have DJ Storm. And it's going to be a very interesting interview here, so I want you to go and check it out. Chuck, we are ready for you. Whenever you're ready, we're ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I am DJ Dan Soulful House Nation. I'm coming to you live from the 8th floor. I am the unusual suspect. It's a Soulful House Nation. Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are here. Now, I don't make that much of an impression on people, but we actually met, I'll say about 2 years ago. And let's see, Mark Ford Disco was doing their event, and you were one of the DJs.
Yes,
I don't know if you remember that, but
I do.
that's how far we go back. And I wanted to follow up and get it done. So here we are, really a couple years later, we're getting it done here.
Yes.
So how are you today?
Okay.
Good.
Well, thank you.
Huh?
I say, well, thank you.
Yeah. So we're going to start off with the easy stuff. I'm going to roll into it. Just, tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, your background, et cetera, that kind of stuff like that.
Well, I'm from Newark, born and
Mhm.
raised.
Okay.
What I would call my area was the Central Ward District.
Okay. All right.
But I also spent a lot of my childhood also in the Bellsburg area as well.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yes.
All right.
Okay.
Now, how about we're talking music? Who were some of your early music influences?
My family, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
My family, I will honestly say, were very talented individuals. I mean, from being around a musical family that played various instruments, singers, groups. I've even had a couple cousins that came out with a couple, which is funny, early in the day, house tracks.
Oh, really?
Per se, yeah. I had a cousin that actually produced one out there. Actually, it sounded so much like Colonel Ingram, we couldn't tell which was which.
Okay.
Who was who? My cousin Gary. So music was just our staple, period, in the family and even in my household. Like I said, we would listen to music before we would actually watch television.
Oh,
That was
wow.
mostly what you heard in the house. So
Mhm.
it started from day one. That was what really inspired me, and it is.
All right. Yeah. So with my family, it's interesting you should say that because my parents were never real music people.
Mhm.
My music background came from my aunts. They were
Oh,
like,
okay.
but they were up to date, meaning
Oh.
that like if they were alive today, they would know about R. Kelly. They would
Right.
my parents know about Michael Jackson only because he's in the news big time like that. But
Mhm.
they know about R. Kelly. They would know about Luther Vandross. They would know about stuff like that.
Right.
Now, how about this? Now, how did you get the name DJ Storm?
Well,
Uh-huh.
that was actually really carefully thought out. When I first started getting into this many years ago, I already knew that DJing and things like that was pretty muchly male dominated. I've been a
Right.
tomboy all my life, so I know what it's like when it comes to the riding the bikes, bicycle, motorcycle, a whole bunch. I know,
Mm,
some of the overwhelming perspectives of, how it can be just so male dominated. And
mhm,
so what I did was I didn't want to come out with my name or something that was too feminine because I didn't want to be prematurely judged based on a name on my name, my DJ
mhm,
name. So I chose something that was more unisex.
Interesting.
Which means they couldn't tell whether I was a male or female,
Mhm,
by the name per se.
mhm.
More than likely, they was going to think I was a guy
Uh-huh.
because when you think of a DJ, most people think of guys.
Mhm.
So, I pretty much chose that. And no, it didn't come from X-Men. Actually, my favorite X-Men was Rogue. It
Oh,
wasn't
really? Okay.
Storm.
Okay.
I felt like I was more of a rogue than a storm. So
Okay.
so most people thinking that it probably came from that, and it didn't. It didn't.
Okay.
And I just felt like it also kind of depicts a little bit of my style of playing as well too.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
what's interesting, when you say that, they say, oh, DJ Storm, and they assume maybe it was a guy, then you showed up
Mm-hmm.
and they go, Where's DJ Storm? And
Oh
you
yeah,
go,
I've gotten turned away at clubs, doors. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, events because they didn't believe I was the DJ.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I
Yeah.
guess I didn't fit the profile.
I'm looking at you now and I'm saying to myself, you mentioned Tomboy, my motorcycle DJ. I'm saying to myself,
if Queen Latifah, and then they got the hairstyle going on too. I said, if Queen Latifah had a
Yeah.
sister, I don't know if she does, but anyway. Now, how about this? I know you do other things because I say most DJs that play, especially if you do mobile stuff, you do
Mhm.
more than just house music. But how did house music steal your heart? How'd you get into that?
Oh man, honestly, when house music really hit the scene, started really hitting the scene in the very early 80s, I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and the only
Like
time
me,
I could honestly hear it was on the radio, late
Mm-hmm.
night,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously I was supposed to have been asleep, but I would go to bed with my headphones, my head under the covers so I could, so that, I wouldn't get caught out there. And that's pretty much when it really started for me. And, cousins and everybody's being able to go and hang out at all the clubs,
Mm-hmm.
um, Club America, and Sensation, all of those. I wasn't old enough to go,
Mm-hmm.
but just hearing it, hearing the stories, and then when they came home with mixtapes and
Mm-hmm.
listening to that and what have you, and then other family members with DJs, guys, of course, in the family, it was just like, dang, and I was always a dancer too. That
Oh,
was
okay, didn't
my
know
first
that
love.
either.
I honestly thought I was gonna be two things I thought I was gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna be an architect, I thought,
Okay.
or a choreographer. It was gonna be either one of
Oh,
the two.
all right.
So when this whole house music thing came about, or what have you, like I love the dance and I love the music. And one thing that I loved most about it, that it was diverse.
Mm-hmm.
Not one track sound like the other. And those producers back then took pride in that. So it was like I could hear one from Chippy versus, from
Mm-hmm.
Marshall Jefferson, and it didn't
Okay.
sound the same. And I was like, and that's what I liked about it, obviously, just like hip hop. Back
Mm-hmm.
then,
Mm-hmm.
everybody had their unique sound. You knew when you heard that person's voice, and or you knew who the producer was by the sound of the track. So that's pretty
Mm-hmm.
much how it was for me. So that was pretty much stole my heart back then. It was, just hearing it, listening to it on the radios when I was able to, very late night, because it wasn't something that they played during the day until
Right.
they eventually started, I would say, commercial house music with Crystal Waters and all that stuff. They started playing little things with CC Peniston on the radio, became
Okay.
more mainstream that way. But I called that the mainstream club
Right.
back
Right.
then.
Well,
So
that
yeah,
makes it.
that's,
Yeah.
that caught me then.
Okay.
The dancer, so it struck my attention.
Okay. Well, you did mention being a dancer,
Mhm,
and two things I noticed, and it's to a person
mhm,
that most people who play house music, dance to house music or something, have
mhm,
hip hop in their background, including me. All right. So anyway,
mhm, yeah.
um, and you mentioned it again. But like a side thought just happened to me just now. Like you were dancing, you were liking the music. What made you decide to DJ instead of just continue to be a dancer? What, like, what
Well,
struck you, or what happened?
think what really caught my attention on that part was, obviously getting older, starting to be able to go to some of the little house parties, basement parties, or whatever the case may be. Um, then it was vinyl. It was vinyl then. And I
Mhm.
was like, he should have played this song next, or
Mm.
dang, if he could have played that a little longer, or because I'm dancing, and if I'm and I used to dance battle. So if I'm dance battling,
Okay.
the DJ not right, you know what I'm saying, or they cut the song off before that break hit, and this is how I did what I did as far as dancing, because I'm listening to the actual music, and I
Yeah.
was like, you know what?
Yeah.
And it was always something I was fascinated with anyway. And I was like, I can do this. I think I can do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about from the age of 13, 14, that was something I always wanted to do. From that point on, I was like, I want to DJ.
Yep.
The first ones we first started seeing was like Spinderella and stuff.
Okay.
But she was honestly, I'm not saying that she wasn't a great DJ, because really they didn't really showcase her talent. They just
Hmm.
showcased her as a third person of a member to
Right.
Soul
Okay.
Pepper. And
Hmm.
she was just back there with headphones on with two turntables in front of her, but you didn't really hear,
Right.
like it was already a produced track. Like, what is she back there really doing besides just being that, just a focal piece,
Mhm.
So I saw that image, but I was like, nah, I want to see somebody scratching the Coco Chanel and all. Because I was like, okay, now
Mm.
we talking. So that
Okay.
at that
Ooh.
point, I was like, yep, this is
Oh
definitely something
wow.
I know I can do. And I felt like I had an ear for it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like they say, everybody can drive, but don't everybody have a will. You can see a lot of
Okay.
people can be DJs, but everybody ain't got that talent. They don't have that ear. You understand what I'm saying? I
Uh-huh.
felt like maybe I did.
Okay. All right. You know, it's funny. You mentioned Coco Chanel. That's a name I forgot all about her. I shouldn't have, but I forgot all about her because
Yeah.
she used to be strong out there for a hot minute.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was. She
hmm
was. She
Yeah.
was.
Wow.
Hmm.
So what would you say was the moment you were hooked, and what kept you coming back? What would you say? Okay, when I heard this was like, oh,
Oh
shut.
man. Truthfully with you, like I said, because everything was so diverse back then,
Gotcha.
not one thing sound the
hmm
same. I cannot tell you exactly which track. I mean, I had like some of my favorites, but that
hmm
might not been what turned me completely in, like, oh, this is what made me turn to this, house music and into this industry. So I
hmm
really can't narrow down just one particular, track or anything of that nature because I love the fact that everything was so different.
Mm,
So it was a combination of that sound, put it that way, back then.
gotcha. Gotcha.
That brought me on.
Now, how about go-to artists? I mean, who like when you're playing? Okay, so let me just say it like this. So I was having a conversation with my buddy earlier today, and all he wants to hear is classics. And
Hmm.
for me personally, I like classics, but I don't have to hear them all night.
Right.
Obviously, um, if I'm playing for like, let's say a crowd that's into new music, I can just go and play all brand new music, and
Yeah.
I'm good with that. I like some combination. So let's
Hmm.
say if I'm playing in general, I'm playing in public,
Hmm.
I'm going to play more familiar than,
Right. Of course. Hmm.
because, most people like to not only dance, but they like to sing the songs and they
Yeah.
know what this happens and when to do this and when to do that.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
guys do, you dancers. So I just was wondering, like who are like push come to shove, you need to get the party popping. Who are some of your go-to artists?
And honestly, that's so hard for me.
Mhm.
Um, I can't really say I have I know right now I'm not sounding like I'm being very helpful, but I really don't have a go-to
Okay,
artist. For me, it always really depended on the mood of the crowd
gotcha.
and what I might feel like that moment. Like I might have been coming on right after someone. I
Okay.
mean, I've been a DJ for the whole night. So where can I lift these people up? So it's really all in that moment where I
Mm,
might come across like, you know what, I might have to throw in some I might have to put some Shaka on, or I might have to,
mm,
throw this on. Like I really can't say like I have a playlist of a few artists and these are my go-to people. I've never been that type that had a pre-made set or
gotcha.
pre-made, you know, folder or creative something that I just knew I was going to be playing for that
hmm
night because you just don't know. You don't know what these people want. You per se,
hmm
I don't, this might be a new crowd. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
I'm a new DJ that just came. I'm from out of state. I have no idea. So I
hmm
have to kind of pick up the pieces at that moment
hmm
of who I might go with. Like now, if I seen they was vibing or whatever the case may be to, let's just say, like if we're doing club classics and, we have 2 tons of funds on or whatever the case would be, and I'm seeing this is where they at. And I'm like, okay, well then maybe I can throw in another one of their tracks and see where they're going, and then evolve that into maybe some Ashford or Simpson. Who knows? Like I have to test it in order for me to
Gotcha.
then see where they might want to go. So
hmm
I can't say I have that point person or point few folks to go to because it really depends on who I'm
hmm
playing for and at that very moment
hmm
what I think might capture their attention at that time.
Well, then I'm guessing too, you would agree too, then, with that being said, which makes a lot of sense, it depends too where you are in the lineup.
Yeah.
Let's say if you're leading off, I mean, obviously, and you got nobody in the room, you're not
Right.
going hard and heavy, but
Right.
you kind of bringing along. But on the other
Mhm.
hand, if the person's got the crowd pumping, you can't come in with a dud.
No, exactly.
You
And
gotta
that
come in.
determines who I might choose at that moment, far
Gotcha.
as an artist or that particular track, or what have you. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Well, let me ask the question this way. Do you have any personal favorites from back in the day? And it doesn't have to be one in particular, just a few
Personal favorite
from back
artist.
in the yeah, from back in the day and some stuff that you like now. Yeah.
Um Well, I'm just gonna say, like, I'm a club classic person, like, well, I would say R&B classic. I love classics as well.
Gotcha.
So like I would give you my favorite artist per se. Mine though, like I love Shaka.
Okay.
I'm a
Chaka
big
Khan?
Stevie Wonder
Chaka Khan?
person.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Any
Okay.
Love is one of my
Okay.
favorites,
In there.
I love him. I love you. I love him. Those are
Yeah.
good classics that I love, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
Steve, no one ever plays what is that track again? It's gonna come to me in a few.
That's how this works. Uh-huh.
But it's just so like these are some of my artists that I love, but not saying those are my go-to,
Mm-hmm.
per se. But
Right.
I might sneak it in there though. Like if I'm
Okay.
having time and I want to try to fit something in there for me, like something I want to hear. Oh yeah, I'll throw it in there. Especially if I know they already grooving, then I'll cheat out. I'll put one in there for me.
Got
Per se.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Now, how about this? So you've been in it from the door. When you said things like Chip E, you had to be around from the door. Yeah, everybody knows Marshall Jefferson because you could
Yeah.
have picked that up
Mm-hmm.
last week. But
Yeah.
Chip E,
Yeah.
you have to be
Mr.
around
Fingers,
for
all
a
of
hot
them,
minute
yeah.
with
Like,
this.
yeah, I was. And like I said, like when I say when I fell in love with it, I fell in love with it deep,
Okay.
and back then when you playing on vinyl, you had to learn the artist names because obviously it was right on the record. You understand what I'm saying? So you already knew, okay, this is here, this is him, this is that, what I'm saying, all the Lil Lewis records and what he has, like yeah, you didn't have a choice but to learn the names, per
Mm-hmm.
se. And it's funny because like I listened to some things, like I was out last night for a little bit and I was like, oh my God, I haven't heard that, and I'm naming the artist, and as DJs,
Oh yeah.
like it's funny because how we always get requests and people are
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know the name of the song, I don't know who's singing, and they're trying
Oh,
to sing it. Or they this, that, and the other, and you in your head like, what the hell is this person singing or talking about? And then eventually you catch, you like, oh, you're talking about so and so. I
mm-hmm.
was like, oh, I don't know who sing. That's who sing it. And it's like, yeah, and then, um, and sometimes, we have to know it too, especially if we're looking for certain tracks. We need to parse
Right.
it. We kind of need to know those things. So, that's just, I feel like being a part of the DJ homework. But,
So
yeah.
so let me give you my you have the name, you have this song. Let me give you my one of my best all-time favorites. Because sometimes people try to like maybe hum a few bars for you.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So this is going back many, many moons ago.
Okay.
I'm DJing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this lady comes in and asks me for Jamoni.
Oh, okay.
I said
Jamoni?
Jamoni. I said Jamoni.
Javon.
And I'm like, Jamoni. I'm like,
Jamoni.
because I kept up to date on my music,
Right,
and the way
right.
I always did it, back when I was using vinyl. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and I still do keep track of my requests. I would go out the next week and get it, but
Right.
I was in a record pool, so I probably had it. I just didn't know. She said Jamoni. I said Jamoni. I said Jamoni. She said, you know the song Jamoni, Jamoni. She was talking
Jam
about
on
Jam.
it? Oh my
Yes.
God. I can't. I'm done. Jam,
Jamoni. I said, what?
jam on it. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
jam on it. Yeah, well.
Oh wow. Wow. Can't knock her for trying and wanting,
Hey, listen. Hey, but I got it. Oh, you mean jam on it? Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
like
got you.
that's a
Yeah,
big
yes,
difference.
yes. Uh-huh. Now, where do you see house music headed? I mean,
Honestly, I'm really not sure. It's branched off into so many different genres in one genre
mm-hmm,
now. Like before, it used to be just it was house music, what they call it club music.
mm-hmm,
Now obviously they have the soulful house, they
yeah,
have the underground deep house,
mm-hmm,
deep underground.
mm-hmm,
Then they have the Afro house. It's so much.
mm-hmm,
Now, so where like I don't really quite know where it's headed.
mm-hmm,
Um, but I'm interested to see in where they go with it. Just like how they've evolved with hip hop.
mm.
From the Curtis Blows, when the Fat Boys to the '90s with Grand Poober and all of them to and then getting all the way to this nonsense today. And yeah, I said it. Uh,
Okay.
it's definitely evolved, but
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of the trap today. I mean, but who's to say? Like we've seen where it's come from in the 70s to where it is today. And we're
Mm-hmm.
now starting to see the same thing with the house music. And I'm not saying that it's going in a bad direction. I'm just curious to see what else they're going to do with it. If they're going to now, because what I'm noticing is that they're
Uh-huh.
trying to revamp a lot of classics.
Right.
I
Right.
think they're like running out of ideas. And I'm just waiting to see someone get more creative
Mm-hmm.
with it, like getting more into the labs with creating more beats, more
Mm-hmm.
tracks, and not so much of remakes, because that's
Right.
what I'm starting to hear a lot of. And I'm like, is that Blue Magic? They not took a damn Blue Magic. Oh, like, what? I'm done. The Whispers, I was in there. Somebody was playing some. I think the night you was at Central Park.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure. I think it was Naeem Johnson was playing something. And I think it was In the Mood by the Whispers. The new track on the house.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm done. Now I will. That's one of my favorite songs. I'm not gonna lie
Right.
to you. Besides Olivia from the Whispers, and yes, I have an old soul.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I listen to music, but
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, okay, where's this gonna go? Because now they're just revamping a lot of classics, R&B songs or what have you. So I'm interested to see where the creativity goes.
Well, along those lines, well, two thoughts popped into my head. So bear with me
Mhm.
1 minute. Along those lines, on a lot of them, they're making them sound more updated, more punchier, more punchy. They're
Mhm.
also, too, what they're doing is they're straightening out those beats because so I DJed back in the day with vinyl.
Mhm.
And with vinyl, and especially when they're playing live instruments, like
Right.
that drummer,
It's
if
not
you
the
didn't
same
know
beat.
that song and that when
Mhm.
that drummer slipped, you had to
Mhm.
slip right there with them. You can now use a sync button on those for those
Oh
who
no,
and
honestly,
and listen.
I
by the
don't
way-
even know how to use the sync button.
Well, what's a 4-letter word that starts with S? I know what you're thinking. Sync. Anyway,
Actually, I wasn't. You know why I would have
you
never
know,
thought of it? Because
I just
I don't use it.
no, no,
I
no.
don't use it. I don't. I think accidentally at home,
Yeah.
messing around. I think it was with a new unit I brought home or something like that. And I was like, what is this button? And
Yeah.
just to seeing, what was
Mhm.
what. And I didn't like it only
Yeah.
because of the fact that, it was controlling the tempo for both the tracks. And I was like, and I know, like, for example, a lot of them club classics,
Hmm.
those are all live bands.
Yeah,
And
you
you
can't.
had to know when that drop beat came in. You had to know when them flares came in to where you
Right.
could get in, get out real
Right.
quick. Like you
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
ride certain classics in a way, or what have you. So yeah, it was yeah, I
Yeah.
mean
Yeah. It's a different flow.
it's different, what I'm saying. So I do see that they're now adding a lot of those on here. So obviously now things are more digital. So
Yeah.
now
They.
you can actually, like the house tracks are more digital. It's like
Hmm.
I said, it's easier to use and play or what have you. So yeah, I can see them doing that. But at the end of
Hmm.
the day,
Hmm.
you know, you until you really learn how to play those actual songs,
Hmm.
because to me that was my way of practice.
Right.
Because it wasn't easy, it was complicated. You understand
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that house music is easy to play or what have you. I mean, I think it's more so more simplified because obviously it's all the same beat
Hmm.
throughout the entire record.
Hmm.
That wasn't happening with your regular R&B classics back in the day, and back then sometimes hip hop, because it depends on when that person came out with that verse. It could
Right.
have been on a quick offbeat, but then they'll come right back on the right beat.
Right.
And trust me, I know, because I do a lot of mashups. I
Hmm.
do a lot of remixes myself, so it's all in timing. And sometimes I have to catch myself like, how did that get off?
Mm.
And there's this, and I realized, oh, so when he came back with a verse, or when she came back and sang this, it was on a whole different beat,
Right.
or what have you, or like the bars were different. Put it that way. The
Hmm.
bars back then were a little bit different than how we're actually modifying things today. So.
Hey. Yeah. Hmm. Let me ask you a question. You mentioned a little bit earlier. So now more and more, especially playing for younger audiences
Mhm.
and hip hop, R&B type scenarios, even reggaeton
Mhm.
and dance hall, like they're into in quick mixing. So let's
Everything.
say, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
nothing is
So,
over 2 minutes long, too.
oh yeah.
Everything is two
So
minutes.
I got buddies within 30 seconds, they're in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, verse, chorus, boom, they're on to the next one. Verse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do you feel about that? Do you have audiences that say, "Hey, we're flowing with that," or what's your thoughts? Because I know you definitely don't do that in house music. That just I haven't
No, you
seen
can't.
that work in that.
First off, anytime you have a house track that's 8 minutes long,
Yeah, well, that's a long time. That's
and you coming in and try to play that song for one damn minute, you might liable to get shot outside somewhere. You know, like, no, we're not doing that. First
uh,
off, it's gonna take you a whole 4 minutes before you get to the break of where they wanted to be at. So it's just a matter of a waiting game and just letting them have a moment, per se. But far as it depends, like I said, it depends on what you're playing. Like when you're dealing with a lot of the younger crowds, they have the Jersey Club, and it's
mhm,
like I say, most of those tracks are no more than a minute and a half, no more than 2 minutes long, even all the way down to some of the trap. Hip
mhm,
hop is not as long. So yeah, you have to get either you have to play right at that point
mhm,
where it's the verse they know, or that's the hot part of the song, because
mhm.
that's all they want to hear, per
Right,
se. So you really have to know that, or you honestly you forced to get in and quickly get out because the damn song is but a minute long.
right. It's like
To be
back.
truthful with you, you know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm,
it is what it is. Yeah, I can see when you play a Jersey Club, you could definitely be a funk flex on that. Like you in and you quickly out,
mhm,
like right on in and right on out because the songs are so short.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, that's true. And like I say, it depends on your audience.
It
You
does
gotta
depend on
like
your
know your
audience.
audience.
Yeah, the kids
Um,
they don't mind so much. I
yeah.
do honestly. I hate to say it because I've done, I play every crowd.
Mhm,
They hire me for a Sweet 16. Somebody turning 21. Somebody going away for their college graduation. Somebody turning 70.
mhm,
50th birthday parties. I do it all. So it don't really matter as far as the genre. But like I said, I deal with a lot of different
mhm,
groups of people, and I will honestly say the least even though these youngsters today are the most complicated, they don't listen, you can't tell them nothing, but I will
mhm.
honestly say in life they're difficult. Like the millennials is crazy, something wrong with this breed. But when it comes to playing a party for them, they
Mhm.
are the most simplest.
Mhm.
They don't care if you play that song. Sometimes they will ask that for that same song 5 times that night.
Uh-huh.
All they want to do is get in their little huddle, take
Mhm.
their videos, whatever you can goof up, you can mess up, you can run the song back. They ain't paying you no mind.
Right.
None. Like they don't critique like you
Mhm.
would a house community per
Right.
se. I never seen so many people come out on the dance floor know more about music than I do. You're gonna actually tell me how to play? You know what I'm saying? Like, but they'll do it, like, oh
Right.
no. And it's like, okay, let me do my part, you do yours. You come here, show up, dance, drink your juice, have a good time. You know what I'm saying,
Uh-huh.
what have you, and let me try to get into my creative. And I try to tell people sometimes too, like, listen, if you want me to play like this, then you want me to sound like that person.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm not that person. I have to make my way where I am different from the next. So when you hear me play, that's Storm playing. I heard it. I knew that was her when I was
Right.
walking in. Versus you walking in and not knowing who it is. It's like that's the whole point. You don't want to sound like everybody else.
Right.
So, like I don't mind constructive criticism. Sometimes people give you, even people, that's out there dancing and partying, because at the end of the day, I don't play this music for me. I play for them.
Right.
Like a lot of DJs don't like to take requests. That's not
Mhm.
me. I don't mind taking requests. Guess what? Because it's like a cheat sheet. They're
Mhm.
telling you exactly what the hell they want to hear. How
Right.
could you go wrong? But I'll
Right.
tell a person quick, hey, don't try to slow this. You see where I'm at, right? You see
Right.
the groove right now, right? Let's stay here in this tempo.
Mhm.
Now tell me what your request is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'll say if it's something I know that I can fit, I say if I can fit it in there, I will. If it's if,
Mhm.
if it's involved in what I'm doing, I promise I got you. And at
Mhm.
the end of the day, guess what? You don't know what that might have changed that person. Like you don't know what that person could be suffering from. They could have lost a family member. That could have been something that reminded them of that person, or a time where they hung out and partied, a sister who you just never know.
Mhm.
And I mean it's gotten me through some rough times for the past 3 years. I lost my whole immediate family.
Oh, wow.
So I've turned everything into just working and playing and to keep my mind set on that. And, as a distraction, it's gotten me through. So you don't know what some of these people are going through when they come in there, and it could have been just that one song. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that I never forget, I was playing house music. Somebody came and asked me, can I play? It was a song by Jodeci.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
a
Okay.
slow song at that.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
Cry for You, I think it was. Not
Yeah.
in my head, I'm like, is she crazy?
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know why she decided in the midst of when I've already played R&B and stuff that I'm now into this whole house groove. I mean, everybody party. She comes say, when you can, you think maybe you could fit Cry for Me? And I was like, Cry?
Mhm.
Like, Jodeci Cry for You? He said, yeah, I really would love that. And after a while, as I'm playing, I heard the woman, she went about her business. 15 minutes later, I can't get this off of my head. Like, why would she come
Okay.
ask me for that in the middle of all of this?
Mm-hmm.
And then you know what? I seen her sitting over there. She was having herself her drink or whatever case may be. And I noticed, looked like to me, she was by herself.
Mm-hmm.
As now I'm paying attention to her.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know what? I'm gonna figure this out. And I did. I
Mm-hmm.
played over a house track.
Okay. Okay. Got you. Got you. Yeah,
I,
because
I
that's yeah, you
I
can
played
do
over a
that.
house track. And I didn't realize that she didn't care how I played it. She just wanted to hear that song.
Mm-hmm.
So I seen her pick her head up when she finally realized the words.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's I hear my song. She lit up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right, right. Music could do that for
She
you.
completely lit up. And then before the night was over, I think I was done with my set. And now, crowd was over, whatever case it be. And she came to me, she gave me a hug. She said, you know what? I was thinking of my late husband. That was one of
Oh
our songs.
wow.
This is one of his favorite places. Yeah, it's one of his places that he used to, and I think it was their anniversary or something. It would have been their
Mm.
anniversary, and it was one of his favorite bars that he hung out. So she decided to come and hang out. And that just pretty much put her in a different place. And it was one of their favorites, one of their songs. I was like, you
Mm.
know how crazy I felt after that? I was like, damn, I didn't realize it was that deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so that's why I started having a different perspective when I started taking requests, because I'm like, you just never know
Right.
where somebody's at with this. Somebody just might be the one, might want to be uplifted at that moment because they might be on hard times, or it just could be, you know what? I want to just feel like I'm back in high school again. I just want that feeling. If you could just play this song, you just never know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always been my thing. Even when I travel and I do a lot of events out the country, and sometimes we have a big group chat, of the destination, what we're doing and what's going on, events and stuff like that. And I always put out there to the whole group, hey, what y'all want to hear?
Gotcha.
Inbox me. And
Mm-hmm.
guess what? You end up with 200-300 people and I'm like, these people just told me everything they want to hear.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Everything. And guess what? I go and I play it. I bodied it and I murdered the party because they done told me exactly. And they were like, oh my God, how did you kill her? Like, they told me.
Uh-huh.
So I'm sorry, some of y'all DJs, I will admit they can be a bit troublesome with all these requests and just nonsense. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's okay to take a little bit, to take a
Mm-hmm.
few. You know what I'm saying? Because they only just want what they want to hear. And remember, you playing for them. You're not
Right.
playing for them. So who are you to say I take no requests?
Right.
Come on. Like,
Okay.
he said you have your whole set made up for what you want to hear. That's not cool. We're not here for that. You're paying us to pay for these people paid to come in this door for you to play for them, not for
Right.
yourself.
Right. Right. Interesting. Yep. Yep. There's definitely that philosophy out there that some people have had signs saying no requests. That's
T-shirts,
okay. Well, then, yeah. Uh-huh.
no requests. I laugh at some of the videos I see on Instagram. It was a video out there where some girl came to ask the DJ for a request, and he had like a smoke machine right on the and he just
Hmm.
pressed the button and the smoke just blew in her face. I died laughing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I found it to be hilarious. He said, "This is what you do when they come for a song request," and I cracked up because I get it, but
Uh-huh.
that's not cool too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everybody.
Hmm. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, what about some of the places you've played and some of the people you work with? Any places or people on your bucket list?
Honestly, I will honestly say most of the DJs that I grew up listening to that I kind of idolized it a bit. I've never thought, and it's been some hard work over this many years that I've been playing to
Mhm.
actually share the stage with them. And
Mm.
then I never forget, I had some friends of mine that been along this journey with me from the very beginning, was like, you made it. you know, because
Mhm.
they knew I went to these DJs, Steve Davis. I don't follow this man all through the Terrace Ballroom to everywhere
Okay.
you could go to, you know what I'm saying, or what have you. Like, you know, and then to be on one of his tickets, you know what I'm saying, or to play alongside him
Hmm.
20 years later. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yep, I do. I do.
Chillax was always one of my favorites or what have you, especially coming up and around in the 2000s or whatever the case may be and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And to actually share a stage with him or to be on just cool terms. Like I was talking to him last night, like, yo, I'm cooking Sunday. You want me to bring you something? You know, like to
Okay.
never would have thought that, like even Cool Lou.
Hmm.
Ooh, can't tell you how many mixtapes I done popped playing his.
Oh
Going
yeah.
down there on Elizabeth Avenue in Newark by White Castle, picking up.
Okay.
And then while you get the mixtape, you got to get your piece of Jersey fried chicken. That's what I'm saying. You know, I'm a Newark girl. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
From the
that
brick.
was the combination. You know what I'm saying? Either you went to White Castle or got your, they didn't have menus like value menus back then. You
Mm-hmm.
either got you how many ever you wanted, and that was pretty much it. And he was right there with his music, and I would go there. So like and for me to be personally good friends with Kulu today, which
Mm-hmm.
is which
Oh
is
yeah.
which is cool. So I can honestly say just about everybody that I've ever wanted to, that I've followed, that I grew up listening to, I have actually had the privilege to
Mm-hmm.
play alongside them, to get to know them personally. And it's been an honor. Like I always take my hat off, and I try to tell them as much as I can when I do see them, like, you know what, I appreciate you. Like, you know, I really value you as a person. Like I really looked up to you. Like, you know, I idolize you in a way. They're like, what, me? You know, and I'm like, yeah, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm not above that. You know what I'm saying? Give people
Right.
their flowers while they're here, you know, and not
Mm-hmm.
when something happens,
Mm-hmm.
per se. So yeah.
Right.
But I do have one
Okay.
that I have not played with yet, and
Okay.
that will be DJ Mustafa.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Now
We're
he's in his
family
game.
actually, and it's funny, you know, he didn't know I DJ'd or I played.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of snuck it up on him. Like I hid it for a while, you know,
Okay.
because I wanted to make my way on my own. I didn't want no one to feel like I was someone else's protege, or, oh, that's the reason why she's getting in, you know, or she got access to, you know, get a spot at this place because of this person. That's no. I wanted to earn it on my own because I knew I could. But I knew it was going to be a tough road. I knew it was going
Mm-hmm.
to take me twice as long, if not 3 or 4 times as long to get
Mm-hmm.
there. But I did. And that was just one thing. So when I finally came to him one day and I was like, hey, I have a CD I want you to listen to. He's like, a CD of what?
Mm-hmm.
I said, a CD I made. He said, you made it? I said, yeah, I made it. And when listen, he was like, I don't listen to CDs. He was like, you got to come down to Marlowe's and play live. You got to, you know, he's like, you know, he said, so I was like, hold on now. Okay. So I came down to,
You-
we talking probably maybe almost 20 years ago. I came down to
Okay.
Marlowe's
Mm-hmm.
straight after work. I never forget it. And
Mm.
he was like, you really want to play? Like he didn't, I don't think he believed me.
Okay.
And I got up there, and back then there was no DJ consoles. You was
Oh
at
yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
time you were on what do you call them, decks
Dex.
back
Mm-hmm.
then. So I call them CDJs, but whatever, decks.
Mm-hmm.
And I went up there and I played,
Mm-hmm.
and when he was out there on that floor carrying on like a proud uncle. I mean, when I tell you, like a proud father, he was out there running, dancing, carrying on like, yo, that's my niece, you know. And I left it at that. But from that point on, like I stayed straight, and I did. And I always said, if we ever, I said, I want to see the day that we both end up on the same ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like, but I wanted it to be a matchup where people did it, but not knowing our history. Kind of get what I'm saying?
Got you. Got you.
And so that's the only one that would be cool. That would
Mm-hmm.
be cool to finally, you know, that's when I'll officially say I made it.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
How about places? Any places on your bucket list and some of the places you've played over the years? Yeah.
Dan, you know, these past few years I've been everywhere.
Uh,
Honestly,
uh,
some places that I never really had a bucket list that
mm,
I would have never thought that I would be at or have
mm,
played at or what have you. Um, so I won't say as of right now. I think I've first off, at one time I always just wanted to play at certain places before certain
mhm.
people. I never on my bucket list ever would have thought that I would have been what you call international.
Okay, now. All
per
right.
se. So that was never on my bucket, and that happened. And I mean,
Okay.
like, oh my God, like crazy. I can't tell you. I've been all over the Caribbean. I mean,
Okay.
you name it. But
Mm.
I think the only thing would be the next thing I would like to do is probably make a European scene.
Okay.
In
Gotcha.
Europe or something like that, and do something over there. That would be cool. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, honestly, it's been a blessing, to have had some of these opportunities, but it took a lot of hard work though.
Mhm.
And to be sitting up here playing in Panama, I would have never,
Okay, now. All right.
um, you know, being invited to different trips where they hire me just for their private DJ, just for their girls trips, or stuff like that, in Costa
Hmm.
Rica or Barbados. Like I've done them. Mexico. I can't live in Mexico. You might as well say, especially Jamaica.
Hmm. Okay.
I got more stamps on Jamaica. They probably think I'm from there now. I'm serious. It just, but it's been such a great experience with the crowd of people, all the people that I've met. I
Hmm.
mean, hundreds of people that I've met, and the opportunity that has brought me, even coming from there, coming home, so
Hmm.
far reaching out to me and doing the opioid,
Hmm.
being the main DJ for the opioid event that they did in Irvington, over thousands of people. Then
Hmm.
got called back to do the 24-hour piece for Newark. Did that
Okay.
last year.
Okay.
You already know what that mob of thousands, 10,000. I can't even tell you how many people was there.
Right.
So it's been a journey. So I mean, so far those been my biggest stages where
Hmm.
before thousands of people per
Hmm.
se. So who's to say? Who's to say? But I'm humble. Like I like where I'm at now. And I
Okay.
don't want to get too big. I still got a day job.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. It's funny because I would laugh about that. People have a day job. I just say, you like to have food with your meals, if you
Yeah,
follow me.
pretty much. Yeah.
So now how about this here? I'm gonna combine some of these questions. Like,
No, that's fine.
yeah, how long you been DJing? What do you like most about DJing? And controllers versus decks, because there's this controversy here. So you can take them one at a time, put them all together, or what's your
That's
thoughts?
fine. I'll do a combination. So I've
Mhm.
been playing since '97.
Okay, all right.
So we talking pretty much about 25 years
Mhm.
nearly,
Something
or what
like
have
that.
you.
Yeah.
Um, I would say as of right now, I would say more of a console for me, because I'm a mobile DJ and I'm very,
Hmm.
very, like, I'm constantly on the move. So traveling with, 2 and 3 decks and then
Hmm.
mixers and all that, it's just not feasible for me in the setup time,
Hmm.
just to put everything together, and then breaking stuff down is just it's just a
Hmm.
bit much. Even though obviously we've all played on decks before those
Right.
consoles came out, per se. So I can honestly say I play on both.
Hmm.
But I do prefer the DJ console for one, because it's one whole unit. It's make
Hmm.
it easier for a traveling DJ like myself. And I'm
Hmm.
a woman. I mean, I'm not trying to
Okay.
be big and bulky walking around here. Like, I still want to look like a chick, It's all these muscles and stuff. Like I said, like, if it ain't gotta be so, yeah, I mean, I will lift something in a heartbeat. I do
I
have
got
those
you.
huge
I got
speakers or what have you that I do got to deal with, or what have you. But if I can make my travel and my setup time half the time, especially
you.
when you're tired and you've been standing on your feet for several hours and you're ready to go home, you just want the quickest breakdown as possible that can still deliver the same sound, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah, I got to tell you something. Again, it's funny we're having this conversation, but I was just having a conversation earlier with my buddy. Like, so I started with vinyl,
Hmm.
and then I went kicking and screaming to CDs. Then I went kicking and screaming for a laptop. And then I have CDJs,
Hmm.
um, but honestly, um, if you look at it, and I know the CDJ cats are never gonna they're gonna hate me for saying this, but you know what? Actually, the controllers now are way more versatile than the
Very.
CDJs. I
Hmm.
mean, especially now, you look at some of the software with the stems, take them in and
Oh,
out,
yeah.
redo mixes you could do a lot of stuff with that. Now,
Yeah.
not to say you can't do a lot of stuff with CDJs. I mean,
Hmm.
but and just going back to what you were saying, it's a lot easier to carry that. See,
It
if you
is.
got a crew,
Right.
To carry your
That's the thing.
stuff,
Yeah.
no problem.
Right.
If you're going to a place that's stationary, no
Mhm.
problem.
Right.
Okay. And then some people insist that you play on decks. Okay,
Mhm.
no problem. So, I mean, but I always carry flash drives with me. I just do that.
Right.
Because I've gone to places and they say, "Oh, yo, man, I want you to get on, I want you to get on." And boom, I
Mhm.
pull my flash drive, click, I can go.
Mhm. Mhm.
But in terms of the versatility,
Mhm.
I prefer controller.
Yeah.
Um, that's it. And I know some people are going to say,
I know. I
"Okay,
mean,
no
even with
problem."
me,
But,
it's I'm like this. It's your own preference.
Mhm,
By you having your own preference, just like you having your own voice of opinion, don't
mhm,
mean that you're wrong, and don't mean that someone should degrade you for
mhm,
that. You have to do what works best for you. Like
mhm.
if I had the decks, I would have them at home. That's something that I would just
See?
rock out at home because I don't have to keep moving that stuff. And then and first off, let's be clear.
Mhm.
This equipment and them decks are extremely expensive and they're very, very fragile.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Let's pause here for a minute. Let's park
Mhm.
here for a minute. All right. First of all, the audience could care less what you're
They
playing.
don't know.
And depending on the audience, they wouldn't know a mixed beat if it hit them. Just play my song.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Now, for me, I have decks home.
Mm-hmm.
I have the CDJs home that I
Mm-hmm.
work with. And I do that because if I get in a situation where I have to play on decks,
Mm-hmm.
I can do that, no problem. But rule of thumb, I do quite a bit of parties every year. I do mostly open
Right.
set.
Right.
The idea, and like most people use Serato, but I use Tractor.
Yes,
That's
you
my
do.
yeah. Now, I have Serato,
Yes,
I
you
have
do.
Virtual DJ, I have
Uh-huh.
DJ Pro, I got but I settled on. I have Record Box, but I
Mm-hmm.
settled on Tractor. That kind of was my flow there.
Right.
But I will tell you that things that I can do with the controller, I can't necessarily do with the
Mm-mm.
decks.
Right.
And I know that the deck lovers are gonna hate me for saying that. And oh, that's no, that's not perfect. You know what? So again, I carry the because they are the industry standards, like 1200 back in the day. I
Mm-hmm.
always carry flash drives, so I could get on a moment's notice. I could do it.
Right.
And that's
Right.
happened a couple of times. So I just
Mm-hmm.
was just curious to get your thoughts on it. Now,
Yeah. It just works better for me.
hmm
Like it's different. It's first off, it's been times where I've had more than one event in the same day. I
oh
was
yeah,
running from one
hmm
right to the next one.
hmm
I don't have an hour and a half to break stuff down. And you want to be neat. You don't want to forget something. You don't want to leave something
hmm
here or don't turn everything off properly. You want to make sure everything is in its own individual carrying case. You want to have your effects box in its own little case. It's just so many moving pieces because I've done it. Before we got to this, I had to do that.
oh yeah.
Let me tell you something. When they finally came out with that first Pioneer SX,
You on it?
brother, I can't tell you how fast I sold them damn CDJs. I ain't even gonna lie to you. When I figured out that, hold on, all this is right here.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
dynamics, all this is right here. And then
Uh-huh.
hold on, I don't have to separate, have a whole new box for effects. I
Right,
don't this that everything was built all in. I didn't have to have an SX 1, 2, or 3 box,
right, got
to
you.
run the program of back then with Scratch Live. Yeah, I
Uh-huh. I
remember.
remember.
I was like, hold on. And it just made life so much more easier. I mean, it was a thing I could put right under my arm and keep it
Hey,
moving.
right.
Lord, I done went out and bought everything for it. So I bought the book bag for it. I mean, you couldn't tell me nothing. You hear me? All I
Uh,
had to do was plug in some speakers. I didn't even need.
Plug and play.
The best part is you didn't need no amplifiers because now
Right,
speakers are powered. Oh my
right.
God. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it was the best investment I spent my money on. And I was like, hey, I ain't gotta worry about scratch CDs no more. That was it right there. Or
Yeah.
making sure I had my signal CDs for for the decks or whatever, and to make
Mm-hmm.
sure I had my loops right so I don't run out. You know what I'm saying? While I'm playing. Oh, let me tell you something. At that point, I was like, this is it for me. And then it was more cost efficient. I mean, it was expensive, a lot more expensive
Yeah.
then, but at the end of the day, the money I made back from it because I was able to do so many more gigs,
Mm-hmm.
and at a drop of a dime, I could be there and set up. I'm already set up within 30 minutes. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I got sound, everything on, and I mean, I got everything coming right through the board. That was another thing. I ain't
Right.
have a whole separate board. It was just so much more easier, and it made me really a better mobile DJ.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, you
Right.
know, I respect the house DJs with these decks. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
do what you do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, all we want to hear is great music.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. All, and like I said, I'm not just a DJ. I'm also a dancer. I'm also a listener. I also support. I also come out and I party and I hang out too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a damn what y'all playing on. And honestly, y'all all the way ahead up above people. People can't see what's going on behind us. They don't even know you could be
Yeah.
playing a complete recording. They
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. Just moving the right place.
You don't know. So
Yeah.
basically, it's the preference between DJ to DJ on what that DJ looking for at another DJ to do. But as far as I think sometimes we get away from ourselves as DJs and start paying attention and concentrating more on these people that spending their money or take a time out of their day to come and support, sit out there in that sun all damn day long just to hear their favorite DJ
Mm-hmm.
carrying out tents and all kinds of just so they can have a day full of music and a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we worried about what the next DJ is playing on? And well, how about let's focus on those people out there?
Right.
They,
Right.
they
Right.
had to park
Right.
they had to take an Uber from where they parked at because they so damn far away, parked so far
Right.
away to try to get here to see you play or just to
Mm-hmm.
have that day with you guys. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
Yeah.
think we focus on the wrong thing. Who gives a shit who plays on a deck?
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, 5 of them. If you want to play on 5 decks, fine. You impressing yourself. These people out there could care less. They don't know.
Right.
And
Right.
I had learned how to just accept that, and I learned to have my focus not on what the next DJ feel or think about me or whatever. It's about me pleasing these people.
Mm-hmm.
So far,
Right.
that's been working.
Right now. All
That's
right. Can you
it.
be a little bit more specific? I'm just
That's
kidding.
it.
Anyway. Uh, you know, and again, I get comments too, for playing on a controller. And I have like multiple controllers. I have some very heavy ones and stuff, but I got this little
I know it.
my to-go system. Boom, boom.
I'm like, Dan bring that thing everywhere with him.
Click, 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 click. I'm ready to go.
Uh-huh.
Get the tractor going, But again, I could do the other things and understand, hey, God bless them, so I'm not against them and, but, again, I mean, but, I kind of like, anyway, how about this? Hey, I know you do all kinds of events.
Yes.
Tell us some of the kind of events. And another question, do you have a preference for either type, kinds of events or anything like that you do? I know you do all kinds of things. Any preference?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a preference on the type of events? No,
Yeah.
not necessarily. Because no matter which one of the events you do is a good moment for someone. From all the way down to being a part of a wedding party's memories, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, like you're part of that wedding, like you can create a great memory for them with that, or I mean, I think the one that was one of the most depressing but kind of gratifying was someone actually hired me to do a memorial service.
Mm-hmm.
Young lady had lost her mom. And I had no idea that's that this party it was really a memorial service. And her mom was a big house, she was a big house, she loved house music. And I didn't know that they were all coming, because I was wondering what time it started. I was like, some people kind of late, like what's I didn't know these people was coming straight from a funeral. They were coming directly from like literally the cemetery to the place. So when I found that out, I said, now the sad part is this all happened on the same week I had to bury my mom.
Oh, wow.
So when this young lady came in, which happened to be the daughter, which I knew the party was for, like I said, all this was brought to my attention like that day of. It was a little depressing in a way, because I was like, oh my God, like she just buried her mom. I just buried mine. It was like that Monday. And I was doing this for them like that Saturday. And but what it did was, I played my heart out that day. I even played over an hour and I didn't even realize it.
Oh, wow.
Because I was just so engulfed in playing. And honestly, and all the stuff that they wanted to hear was around all the stuff that I knew my mom loved. And so
Oh,
my
that's
mom. So
incredible.
when I tell you, I played, I cried, I did it all that day. And I'm when I tell you, but they had such a great time. But I was able to bring them from some place of such deep sorrow, which I was so in tune with because I was going through it too.
Mm-hmm.
And to actually uplift them and to temporarily have them forget about that they
Mm-hmm.
literally just they just laid flowers on a grave 4 hours ago.
Mm.
You
Wow.
understand? So, like I said, and then you can go somewhere. This could be in DR somewhere playing, and you just know this might be this person's first time ever leaving a country.
Right.
They feeling special about themselves. They probably couldn't even come with anyone, and they were like, forget it, I'm coming out on a whim. I'm just gonna meet people while I'm out here.
Mm-hmm.
And they go ahead and have a good time. And then even though they're alone, they feel like they're no longer alone when you go out there and you play this music for them, because guess what? Now you have a group of people that's intertwining with you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now you feel like you're kind of at home. It's nothing like going away and still having home with you. So you had some people like, oh my God, I came out here by myself, but I had such a good time with everybody out on the dance floor, because now you
Right.
become one people.
Right.
So
Right.
now
Right.
this person didn't feel alone. And guess what? The same people she two-stepping with or trying to flow with or, bad knees and all, she done met some people on this trip
Uh-huh.
because she had such a good time at that party. And now she has people along the way, you know what I'm saying, for the next few days that she's going to be there. And guess what? Now she's going to be a traveling buddy with these folks on the next trip the following year. So it don't
Right.
matter where you play, what stage you play on, or like for
Mm-hmm.
me, any particular event. The goal is to touch somebody.
Got you.
That's it.
You mentioned funeral. I got two songs. Let's pretend I go before you.
Oh,
For a minute.
you have a request?
They're gonna say, well, what did? And I'm letting everybody know. Listen, I don't want all that slow singing, all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff like that. You know what? I have two songs that I want played. My
Okay.
two favorite songs in terms of hip hop and
Okay.
house music.
Okay.
Okay, so that's EPMD. So what you're saying?
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I know now. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then the other track is Mass Choir Lifted, the one with him spinning them do it. So those are my two favorite songs of all
Hey,
time. Yeah.
nice.
Take me away, take me.
Yeah. That's one of
Those are
my
my
songs. Lift every voice and
lift
sing.
every voice, exactly. Those are
Oh
my
man, I did a mean remix on that one right there. Whew.
so
You
those
play
are
that today at some of these houses, they look at you like you lost your mind. I'm like, y'all forget where house came from? Like, y'all.
yeah.
Somebody was like, I wish you would come in here and play Follow Me. And I was like, damn. Okay. Like, did we forget? That's another reason when let's talk on this house music, like the festivals. I've been invited,
Mm-hmm.
to play at several of them over several years.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it, be conflicting because I already have,
Mm-hmm.
an event that is contracted that I have to. So sometimes I wasn't able to.
Right.
But there's been quite a few that I've attended.
Mm-hmm.
Just out there in the crowd. I was one with my lawn chair, my little,
Mm.
that's why I say I know been sitting out there in that heat, waiting
Yeah.
to hear some of my favorite DJs, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, or what have you, all damn day. Not knowing
Mm-hmm.
what time they going on. I'm out there, I'm dehydrated, I got a
Mm-hmm.
sunburn, the whole
Yeah.
nine.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I did notice that if it's a house music festival,
Mm-hmm.
why are they only subjecting it to a certain genre of house?
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to be celebrating all areas of house music,
Mm.
all of it.
Okay.
So, I can't remember who wound up playing, but I was so glad they did because for one, you got 10, 12 DJs playing. We done heard some of these songs at least 3 or 4 times already because
Mm-hmm.
that DJ just getting there. They don't know what the other person played. They're just gonna play.
Right.
And granted, they don't know when time everybody coming to different crowds. So that might have been the first time somebody just getting there 3 hours later hearing that song. So it don't really matter. I'm not worried about that part.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I noticed that this one DJ was like, you know what? I'm gonna take it back.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say it, but he did.
Mm-hmm.
And when he played Lift Every Voice, I jumped up out. This first time I jumped out of my chair. I said, hold up.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Did he just change the game? And when he threw on Marshall and he threw on
Yeah.
Jack Your Body, I was like,
Okay.
threw everything away. I was like, hold up. Now it was such a fresh breath of air. And not saying that I had nothing against everything else that was played, but it was just like, why isn't it played? Like, why do like it was? And I mean, and the thing is, the crowd exploded.
Mm-hmm.
So that means obviously these people wanted to hear this. Like, it took them back at a time where they first fell in love with this.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? It took them down memory lane. You had people out there whopping, and you had people just trying to get their old school jam and step on. I mean, let me tell you something. After that, I was so tired. I packed up my shit and I went home and I took a whole nap. I went to sleep. I ain't wake up till the next day. I was worn out. I literally wore myself out. But I was so happy that
Mm-hmm.
finally somebody also played
Mm-hmm.
the other areas of house music. It wasn't just all deep house, it wasn't just all
Mm-hmm.
soulful house or the Afro beats. Like they played it. Finally, that was the one when I went to where they played everything. I enjoyed it
Mm-hmm.
so much, and it seemed like, guess what? I ain't heard of seeing that DJ since. I said they done boot that man out because he went against the group.
Kicked them to
And
the
I
curb.
said I would never want to be that DJ, so I was afraid that I would deny not playing that song because I know me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll slip here and there, you know what I'm saying? Or I'll be there, I'll play something from today or something soulful, but you know me, I'm a mashup person. I'll be done through on a classic,
Mm-hmm.
acapella on it or something like that. Like, cause I just like to be versatile. I just like to keep you guessing. Like,
Gotcha.
like, oh, I didn't even know they came with that remix. So, oh my God, like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
It was refreshing. It wasn't the norm, you know what I'm saying? And I
Mm-hmm.
try to be a little innovative in that way. I'm like, they be done kicked me off that damn stage if I came to, because I know me, I'ma do me. Like, I
Gotcha.
don't want to sound like that next DJ
Right.
that just
Right.
got off. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to sound like the one that's coming on after me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wish that they explored it just a bit more. Like, come on, Naeem, how you go up there and play? You don't play black box. Like, are you serious?
Okay. All right.
That was my cut.
Okay.
Produce, you put that out there, you don't play it. Oh, come on.
Okay.
Like some stuff I just had to laugh, like, oh my God, like, is he gonna play back Black Box?
Mm.
Like, take me back to a time, you know what I'm saying, or what have you, like and that was the whole thing that I was thinking of, like, dang,
Mm.
I miss my these same DJs today that are still playing today. I miss them from
Mm.
back in the day. It's like I feel like sometimes they just lost touch. I don't know if it's just that they're trying to, obviously you're trying to feed the people for the day, but there's nothing wrong with reminding them to, taking
All
them on a journey, and I don't know. That's how I pick my DJs now. Yeah,
right.
I'm a fan too. I come out and listen to everybody. I want to see who's gonna pique my interest, like who's gonna switch something up.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Now we're getting down to the wire here.
Hmm.
And I know you got timelines, so I'm just going to
Yeah,
combine a few questions here.
sure.
Um, so, here's the question I'm going to combine here. Do you produce or have a desire to produce? What's on
Like,
deck for 20? How you like that?
okay.
What's on deck? Put all puns intended for 2025, and just some life lessons from the booth. What would you say? Hmm.
All right. So the first one is I do not produce, but I do plan on getting into it.
Okay,
I feel like that might be one of my callers because I'm too big. I change up too much. I make my own remixes on my own. So
got
I
you,
might as well go on and make something, like
got
do it
you,
right.
got
And
you.
so I do want to learn more into that, which I'm actually starting to take steps into getting more into that and following a couple people, to try to get some training on some things and just to go to some of these studios and see how
Hmm.
things work. I think that will be the next chapter for me.
Hmm.
Because I like to change things up sometimes, like
Hmm.
I know I can hear something in my head of like, oh my God, this could be this or this could be that, or if there was just one more snare added to that,
Got you.
that's just how my mindset thinks.
Hmm.
So yeah, producing would be something I would definitely be getting into next.
Hmm.
In regards to what was the other question?
Yeah,
It was
like what's on deck? What do you have for
for
2025 that you can share?
2025
That you can share. Hmm.
that I know of just now. Well, I have an event that I'm doing in St. Martin's this June.
Okay. All right.
Mhm. It's actually one of my events that I'm also doing with who is that? Gary Saline.
Okay.
and what
Mhm.
have you. So we have a and that we put together a trip, and we're gonna go out there and do something for them, and something a little different. I mean, everybody in Jamaica and so forth. We like, no, we're gonna do something more upscale, more
Mhm.
really truly grown and sexy,
Mhm.
um, event out in St. Martin's, and we have a couple things lined up. I can't really say too much on because it's really a
That's
surprise,
okay, no problem. What I said, well, you
per
can share.
se, or what
Uh-huh.
have you. But that um I have quite a few things that's coming up. I want to say
Mhm.
this year. It's still kind of early because I'm
Okay.
gonna say like last year I probably was out this country 5 or 6 times. It was like this year I don't know what's coming up. I do, but I will say this. I do want to take a little bit of a break. I don't want to be as crazy as I have been these past 3 4 years. And I will honestly say, like I said, I engulfed myself in this because of
Mhm.
all the losses that I had, and that was just my way of my coping mechanism.
Mhm.
Now that I'm better with dealing with my grief, I was like, you know what? I
Mhm.
need to slow down a little bit. Like I miss my friends.
Mm.
I don't get to support a lot of my other DJ friends. Like, they have events. I don't ever get a chance to see them.
Mhm.
Hell, I ride motorcycles. My bike is, I've been buying tires. I've been just keeping upkeep on it. I might have put 100 miles on my bike last year. Over the
Mm.
past few years, it was like, no, I want to get out and enjoy a little bit of life. And when I go on vacation, I don't want to be going on vacation this year so much as to be playing or working. I want to go and just enjoy myself and relax a little bit this year. So
Gotcha.
now I know I'm saying this now.
Mhm.
I'm sure that's going to
That
change.
phone starts ringing.
Well, it is, man. I've cut down a couple things,
Yeah.
saying, per se, but I'm definitely trying to at least have a free weekend or two a
Gotcha.
month,
Gotcha.
versus every weekend I was completely booked, and some, from Thursday to Sunday,
Gotcha.
and it was crazy. Sometimes two events in one day.
Gotcha.
And it was a little overwhelming, to
Mhm.
the point, and until one day I got sick. I got severely dehydrated,
Mm.
and I didn't know what it was, and I was in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know what was wrong, and it was like, "You're dehydrated, like, honey, you gotta slow down." And I didn't even realize that,
Okay.
I had to sit there and get almost 4 bags of IV just to rehydrate myself because I wasn't sleeping properly, I wasn't eating probably like I should. I was just working. And then my regular day job, I got promoted to VP at my company.
Okay.
So that I wound up taking on that task. And it was just a lot going on.
Mhm.
So now it was like, I want to just enjoy a little bit more life, and go out and hang out and attend some of these house events, and support, come and see you, Dan. I am going to get over in Central Park though, whether you know that or not. I got to talk.
Okay.
I need to be over there on a Friday. I gotta get one of them in there.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Okay.
and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I don't really know everything that's gonna go down for 2025. I know I have quite a few like weddings and like
Mhm.
huge events that I got going. I think I even have something going on for the Delta chapter,
Mm.
this coming up this March, and I think they're talking over, I don't know how, 1,000, 2,000 people, something like that at they Marriott.
Mm.
So I'm working on, so I have some big events, private events going on, which what I prefer honestly, because that's what really pays. But
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm just getting myself focused on a lot of those things. But far as publicly, those are coming up soon. And don't worry, I'll keep you posted on everything.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Hit me up. I'll definitely put the word out.
Mm-hmm.
As we come in for a soft landing, uh,
Be light with those terms with everything happening these
oh
days.
yeah,
These
yeah,
planes, oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
God bless those
How
people.
about some life lessons from the booth, and your final thoughts and any last final thoughts or word of inspiration or anything that you want to make sure that people
Right.
grasp? And
Yes.
how can people connect with you, support you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Right. Well,
Mhm.
life lessons from the booth definitely taught me how patience, that's number one. And two, you know, just not folding, because I'm not gonna lie to you, it's been very tough being in this type of industry. For one, being a heterosexual woman,
Mhm.
because oh
Okay.
yeah, it was I had heard last year that I was gay, and then all kind of nonsense, and that I had to I don't know where that came from. Somebody
So-
said, "Oh, maybe Storm, they think maybe because they don't never see you with a guy." I said, "Y'all see me with no chick either. How
Okay.
y'all come up with that? That no, but okay, whatever. Not that I have anything against you know, anything, you know, of the latter. Everybody have their own love life, and whatever makes you happy. And I promote whatever which way you go. But it just was hard. And I just feel as though, you know, we're at a day and age today where, you know, we're women, and we're obviously rising above a lot of the occasions. But it, you know, we're not trying to replace nobody. We just want a fair share, just like you guys, you know. And just some things I just felt like shouldn't have been as difficult. You know, like a lot of opportunity. I see some people come into the game only been playing 3-4 years, and they on main platforms. I'm looking like, really? Some people like, oh my God, you're new. When did you come? I'm like, you know how long I've been doing this? So when I say 97, they're like, since 97. I'm like, yeah, and you're just now hearing about me. See how long that took? You know, and I was like, come on, you know. But it just taught me to stick to my guns. You know, I still keep that no non-tolerance. Like, you know, I'm gonna let you know straight up if something's not right, if I'm not feeling right about something. But I am also one of the nicest persons that you could possibly meet too. And I'm a firm believer in, let me prove it to you then. You know what I'm saying? Don't judge me first. Let me prove it to you. You know what I'm saying? Or what have you. And it, you know, and I know it came with some bumps and bruises. You know, I've gained a lot of friends, but I lost a lot too. I lost a lot of good DJ friends of mine or whatever that we don't really speak or talk much. Why? I don't know. Jealousy, I don't know what it is. But it taught me to just, you know, stay in my circle, in my own circle, and do what I do, and don't give up, you know. And I say this to all, not just, you know, focusing on just women, because I hate that whole stereotype that, oh yeah, we wanted a female DJ. Why? Hire me just as the DJ, like, do it. So when you go to hire a male DJ, you say, oh no, we wanted a male DJ. No, y'all know. But when it come to us, oh no. So no, I figured we're gonna hire a female because that'll put a little twist to it, something different. It shouldn't be that way. You know, some of us are out here playing. I mean, we bringing it. Some of us. I mean, in some cases, harder than some of these guys out here. Do we get that pat on the back? Absolutely no. You know, we get, they don't call us. We get banned in a way, you know what I'm saying, or what have you, or rumors are starting about you like you being gay or something like that. You know, it's just tough. But these are my life lessons that I've learned, you know, like no matter what obstacles they throw your way, you know, stick to your guns. If it's something that you love and what you do, you don't let no one else take that joy away from you. And I've learned to do that. And I just put my focus on somewhere else. And I pray for people like that. In regards to the last one that you asked was life lessons from the
Yeah, like if people want to people want
any advice I want to give, I'm going to give that.
yeah.
But I do want to give advice not to other female DJs, because they doing the best they can, but to a lot of the male DJs that's running this. You guys, this is your show. I'll give you that. You guys run this. But just be a little bit more open-minded. You know, like it's okay to work alongside us. We're just looking for the opportunities to have a good time with you guys. You know, spin some records, talk a little trash. You know, DJ battles. I've done that too. You know, per se. And I feel like, why I have to go through all this to prove that I'm a decent DJ? You get what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You know, we just want y'all to be just a little bit more open-minded, and just knowing that, you know, just because we don't give us credit just because we're chicks and we know how to turn on, you know, press a play in the Q button, you know. You know, just if it's due and if it's there, like just give us a chance, you know, like it could be, come on, we'll even keep the whole DJ booth area clean and neat and stuff like that. Like, come on, like we're helpful in some ways, you know, outside of the music, you know, what have you. Just be more open-minded, and you know, like just, you know, give us, you know, the opportunities are really in their hands, and in a lot of these men's hands. And I just feel as though, just be fair about it, you know, like if don't just hire some of us just because of a certain look. I've seen a lot of women didn't get hired because they look like men, you know, or they were more masculine per se, and they're like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. You know, like, no, hire a person based on how they play, you know, and what they could bring to that crowd. Who cares what they look like? You know what I'm saying? What they dress like, you know. Even me, like, I thought it would be easier for me. It was a problem with me because I looked too much like a woman. You know, I was too feminine, you know, or per se, or she got on lipstick, she wear heels. Like, last I checked, I was what it was. So it was like that became a blessing. I mean, a curse, or the thing was, it was a curse because, you know, I didn't want to talk to anyone. Everybody wants to holler. Oh, this and the other. You know, and I'm like, no, I just came to play, bro. I don't want none of that. Like, you could leave all the derogatory comments and all that other stuff to yourself or what have you. It'll never in this day and ever hell happen. I ain't dating no DJs, so stop. Stop right now. That's it. It's out. But you know, just guys, be a little bit more nicer to some of the chicks. We ain't, all of us ain't half bad. We all right. But what I will say to end this off with is how you can find me. I know Dan, you couldn't find me on Facebook.
Right.
Because I'm sure you was looking for DJ Storm. You know how many Storms is out there?
That's what I was saying.
I couldn't find a damn name for Storm to save my life on that platform. So I had to go into my government. You will find me under Mecca Ford, Mecca Ford, under Facebook. I am on Instagram, which would be DJ Storm, all one word, underscore dat, DAT, underscore chick, CHIC. So that would be me on Instagram.
Now repeat that one more time. Yeah.
DJ Storm, underscore DAT, dat, underscore chick. So it comes across as DJ Storm, that chick.
Okay. Underscore that.
Got it. I'll send you all the information.
All right. Well, listen, this was all right.
Was it? I hope so. It took us forever to get here. Thank you, Dan, for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I also want to give Marcus a big shout out for setting everything
Big shout out to
up.
Marcus,
So,
yes.
yeah. So, you know, he's been a big help to me because, listen, we met a couple years back, and I just really just managing this whole process. Like what a lot of people don't really see is they just see the interview, but they don't see the prep. They don't see the things that, you know, there's a whole lot that goes with it. But, you know, I enjoy it. I love this stuff. And I'm just, you know, and I got to have a conversation with somebody like you. It's really, really a good thing. So.
Aw, don't make me blush.
Well, all right. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, DJ Storm, thank you so much for coming out and hanging out. Ladies and gentlemen, I am DJ Dan, coming to you live from the 8th floor. I am the unusual suspect. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Thank you. Blessings to you.
Wow. There you have it. DJ Storm. Took a while to get that together. I'm very, very happy. Don't forget, next week, our special guest will be DJ Matt Knight. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue on. We're going to start the Shazam Free Zone. We're going to lead off with the song by King T Finesse called The Flow. And King T Finesse, along with Ariel Shante, put together our theme song, the Soulful House Nation theme song. So, here we go. You are now in the Shazam Free Zone, where we not only play it, but we say it. You get to decide whether it's a hit or not, whether it's a smash or trash. Here we go. I think we got another good one here.